What's going on, guys? It's your boy in the Matrix, and today we're gonna talk about once again about California. I wanna talk about this because there once upon a time I dreamed of going to California. For those of you that don't know, a lot of our favorite companies are in California. Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. I mean, they even have a Disney office. A lot of the tech companies, Facebook, Google, Amazon, they're all in California. Nickelodeon's there, right? A lot of the anime stuff, you know, the gateway from Japan to America for anime has been California. And because, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but, well, actually, maybe if you study history, yeah, but the highest population of Japanese in America are in California and Hawaii. Why? Because you cross the Pacific Ocean from Japan and you get to California. So it makes perfect sense. So decades ago, with the anime boom, we got all of our exports. It came from Japan directly to California through the Pacific. Japan was the gateway to anime, and a lot of other Japanese products too. And the localizers, a lot of localizers, translators, they're all in California, right? So California used to be a dream location for me, not anymore. In 2017, I went to California, and oh my God, what a dump! What a well. Let me be more specific. Los Angeles was kind of a dump. Santa Monica, California. I mean, it's just been destroyed by, let's just say, the people running the show have destroyed Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and and just it's not worth it anymore. So especially after the pandemic, especially after the fall of Hollywood, especially after all the crappy movies, Hollywood losing so many billions of dollars, especially after what Disney has done, what all these companies have done to our favorite franchises like Star Wars. A lot of people are not only leaving California because of the conditions over there, because of the politics over there, because of the policies, because of the laws, because of the lawlessness, because of the homelessness, but a lot of people are leaving because it's just it goes against the American dream, right? You can no longer find the American dream in California. And I know, look, this channel's about anime, manga, video games, but I like talking about California because it's historical, right? It's part of our history. And that's what the entire movie industry was. Like, if you wanted to be an actor, I think if you wanted to be on stage plays, you had to go to New York. New York is popular for stage plays. But if you want to be an actor in movies of any kind, you have to go to California. There's like no way around it. However, that has changed, and this is why I wanna cover this video. So this bald guy here, this baldy right here, David Graves, he's talking about how he moved to California and he lived the dream. Basically, the American dream of starting from zero, basically homeless, go to California, become a successful actor, and boom, here we are. But now he's saying that Hollywood is leaving California. And by Hollywood, we mean the people who make the movies. It's no longer beneficial to stay there. It doesn't matter. Like, people say, oh, well, Los Angeles, Santa Monica weather is so amazing. Yeah, but there's other places with amazing weather, such as Florida, such as Texas. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Let me go ahead and skip over here.
I think everyone has their idea of what Hollywood is. I think everyone in the United States has their idea of what is Hollywood, what's Tinseltown. It's a really personal story. I think for everyone who works in the film industry, it's personal. But in general, I think that culture is always leads the way for politics. Politics is always behind culture. And so the interesting thing about the film industry is that it leads the way. It leads who we are, where we're going, where we've been. It tells our story. And so California is really the key to the American story.
Yeah, like I was saying, the key to the American story. California used to be the dream.
And that's, I think, one of the things that attracted me to the film industry in general is what California does is it really tells our story. It tells us who we are, how hard it was, where we're going. That's what the value of the culture is.
And what was it for you?
For me, it was an escape. So I can
All right,
remember.
so I'm actually gonna skip this part because it's pretty long. So he basically said he went to California in a beat up car. He was homeless, and then he just worked his way up. Hold on.
I was walking through the local community college. It was a shot of the news anchor, or sorry, it was a shot of being a news camera operator. So I came out, and
Yeah, here we go.
somehow California just keeps calling me back.
Now, the movie industry is leaving the state. We have some numbers that the numbers are down in terms of TV production,
Yep.
commercials. Can you tell us what's happening?
Sure. So
Here
if
we
you
go.
look at the film industry in general between 2021 and 2022, we saw a contraction
After the pandemic.
in the market in California of 2.5%. So if you look at the specific sectors of the economy, so commercial production, music video production, television production, feature film production, the largest loss was in commercials. We saw about a 22% reduction in commercials, which is a big deal because production commercial work is a huge cash maker for crew
Big money
members.
comes.
It's a lot of money. It's spent very quickly, and so that typically for crew members, those are really lucrative deals. And
For
so-
people that work in the industry.
for people who
like
work in the industry,
Cameramans
yeah.
and the team members.
So cameraman, anyone below the line, basically. And when we say below the line, those are not directors. It's not actors. It's the crew members. It's the people behind the
behind the
lens.
scenes, yeah.
And that was a huge hit for them. A lot of them are feeling it. So I know people personally who haven't worked for a month or two because they work exclusively on commercials. And we're losing commercials to South America, we're losing them to Mexico, we're losing them to Prague, we're losing them to Australia, we're losing them to New Zealand. We're losing them to all over the place, including.
Yeah, so pay attention. So commercials being made in Hollywood by Hollywood studios, like those productions are leaving California to other countries, other states. And he's gonna get to that in a moment.
The incentive states. So we'll be losing to Georgia, we'll be losing them to Louisiana, we're losing them to Toronto, we're losing them to Vancouver. They're moving everywhere.
Okay, so I like how they show this map here. So, and what's happening here? These are movie studios. So movie studios in California, and many areas of California. I mean, it's mainly Los Angeles, but there's movie studios in South Cali as well. So keep that in mind. So they're losing. Movie studios are leaving California, going to Vancouver, Canada, going to Toronto, going to Louisiana and Georgia. I had no idea that Georgia was a movie hub. Now, some people say that Georgia is like what do they call it? Atlanta, Georgia is like a movie hub for Black America. That's basically like Black American Hollywood. And then Louisiana, they're moving there. And also if you want to be a voice actor, Texas has become a hub for voice acting. And I love me some Texas. Right? So these are opportunities. This is good. These are opportunities because let's say if you're a freaking Northeast boy like I was from Connecticut, you don't have to take all your things and move over to California. As a matter of fact, a lot of people can drive from the northern states and go down south to Florida and Georgia. So this is good. It's this helps out a lot. If you want like an acting career, you can go down to these states now. I mean, there's so many options now. It's just so much better.
Or outside of the film industry. I like to say that the film industry.
The same thing goes for animation. If you want to be an animator, you no longer have to just settle for California. Where everything used to be. You can apply through different places now.
Is not leaving California, it's expanding beyond our borders. And so we're not doing a really good job of keeping it here in California.
So basically what he's saying is that, yeah, everything started in California. Hollywood started in California. And it's not because, Hollywood is still going to be like the main place for like movie making. But a lot of people are leaving because it's just so inconvenient. So they're going to use California in Hollywood, the California, Los Angeles, as kind of like the home, but they're going to other places, to run their studios.
If you look at states like Georgia, they've seen a 10% increase in overall production. Louisiana has seen an astounding increase between 2021 and 2022. They've seen about 130% increase in production. They went from about 45 productions, 50 productions in 2021 to like 140 in 2022.
Wow.
So a massive, massive increase for Louisiana. I consider Louisiana and Georgia to be our main competitors when it comes to film production.
Why is this happening?
Well, I wish there was a smoking gun. I wish I could say it's taxes, it's policy, it's something like that. It's cost of
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem.
living, but it's really a very complex issue. We can filter it down to labor migration, which is a big issue. So we're losing our skilled labor to other markets.
To people.
Well, I mean, think about it. California is so expensive. California is so. It's not just the taxes, it's the cost of living over there is freaking ridiculous. Like to live in California, you can't find a studio apartment for $1,000. You got to live with like 3, 5 roommates to be able to afford to live there.
People are moving out of California.
People are moving out of
Which we
California.
covered this in our documentary
Right.
for a variety of
Yeah.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're leaving for those reasons: high taxes, cost of living. They don't like the bureaucracy,
costs.
whatever. And so they're leaving for those reasons, and they're going to production-heavy states. So they'll go to Georgia, they'll go to Louisiana, and then you have Georgia and Louisiana, and now they're benefiting from California-trained professionals who are now over there. And what that does is it makes, if I'm a producer, the biggest thing keeping me in California is infrastructure and labor. And so if there's infrastructure and labor in that incentive state, I'm going to go there and work. I'm going to go produce a movie there. About 10 years ago, we used to have this saying called runaway production. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it basically meant that 1 or 2 shows, or maybe a few different shows, would leave the state. They'd go chase a tax incentive. Maybe they're going to chase lower labor costs or whatever it was. And so
Also, I believe Florida has become a hub for this too, because Florida, there's no income tax. Florida has no income tax. Texas, no income tax. They're going to the states where there's like no income tax.
the sub-market in LA, and we call it a sub-market, which means it's the support infrastructural market of brick and mortar companies.
So the service providers.
The service
to
providers,
movie,
yeah. And what they basically do is they are responsible for providing equipment, payroll services, insurance services, production services, production equipment, trucking, you name it, they provide it for the film industry. They're brick and mortar. So they fall under the same regulatory issues that normal businesses do, the same tax burdens. And so that's always been in California. And so if you would go to...
But now it has gotten even more ridiculous. So, I mean, let's forget about the taxation and the cost of living. Look at the conditions, like the homelessness in California, the crime levels. The police, they're not doing anything to stop people. Look at Sacramento. Look at San Antonio. It's like they don't stop people from committing crimes. So it's that somebody goes into like a freaking pharmacy or like a Target or Walmart. They walk in and they walk out with like $500 worth of products. Police doesn't do anything. The state doesn't do anything. The liberal politicians don't do anything. California's a nightmare. It's like people are afraid of getting robbed and attacked in the streets. That's the problem.
Georgia, or you'd go to some other incentive state 10 years ago where the infrastructure really wasn't there yet. Atlanta, Georgia had a little bit.
So it's hard for you to operate, right?
It was hard to operate. They would just kind of, all right, well, it's a show in Georgia. All right, let's ship a bunch of stuff out and we'll figure it out. It was a pain. But then...
All right, and I'm going to stop there. So, yeah, man, that's, and again, he was a Hollywood actor, working in California, and even I think his studio left. Now I do recommend people to go and watch it. So go over here and watch this video titled "Why Is California Losing Hollywood?" with David Graves. So go ahead and watch this whole thing. But I wanted to cover this part because to me, it's a relief it is a relief to not have to rely on one state. But it's not so much the problem that we had to rely on one state. The problem is that we had to rely on California. And California is shitty. It is really, 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 really shitty nowadays to work there. I've been to California twice, Santa Monica in LA. Been there twice. Horrible. Horrible conditions over there. I mean, you walk out of your apartment and there's like, homeless tents there, and there could be a guy pissing right there on the street or taking a dump right there on the street. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. The conditions there are absolutely. I mean, the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro and the whole Daily Wire team, they left California, and they moved to Tennessee. And, a state that has no income tax, and they've been doing so much better. I mean, just think about it. All right, guys. So that's gonna be it for this video. I just kind of wanted to get this out of my chest, because I saw this, this interview, and I had to, I had to watch it. I mean, I had to do a reaction to it. So, if you are an animator or if you want to be an actor, voice actor, you don't have to pay $3,000, $2,000 of rent in California. There's other options now. I recommend Texas, and like our friend here was saying, Louisiana, Georgia, and I think even Florida now. There's so many hubs for becoming a great actor now. So there's so many choices. We don't have to settle. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. It's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed, baby.